Danny Flexen here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined by the only WBA featherweight champion of the world, Leigh Wood, here at the gym in Harlow. How you doing?
Oh, good, mate. Welcome to the gym. This is where all the magic happens, you could say.
We saw some of that magic just now, of course. Just tell us, first of all, what's the difference, and people see this when it goes out, but what's the difference between the pad work you were doing with Ben and the pad work you were doing with Barry Smith? How do they work in different ways?
Obviously, the pad work today was pretty much tailored to you guys coming down, not to what we're doing on the night. You know, we don't want to give everything, we don't want to reveal our hands, you could say. But Ben's pad work I do with Ben is technical, and Barry's is more explosive and fitness. They both play the part.
You got Mauricio Lara, as we just alluded to there, about just under 3 weeks' time now. Looking in great shape, by the way. You must be deep into sparring by now. You don't have to tell us specifically who you've been sparring, it's up to you, but what qualities were you guys looking for in sparring partners for this?
So with our sparring, we look for style matches that's going to be similar to the one we're fighting on night. So tendencies, things they do, what they do. Mainly the most important ones, tendencies that he does well and tendencies he does not so well. So they are very thorough. We're looking for certain sparring partners that fit that criteria. It's not always sparring partner that's high level, winning loads of fights. It's like I said, it's down to them things that they do. Same thing happened for the Reese Mould fight, same thing happened for the Kanzu fight, we found someone, and the Colin fight as well. So people will be surprised or taken back, like it's sparring him but it's fighting him, or it's sparring him but if you knew the details of it, like I just said, then and you've seen it broke down into microseconds on camera, on video, you could probably see it.
How much of the sparring do you get in-house with some of your stable mates, and how much do you have to bring in and potentially pay for as well?
Yeah, so this is pretty much most of my camps are brought in. When I first come down against Reese Mould, I won't pay anyone. Now it's a little bit expensive, you know, bringing in people in from different countries, putting them up and paying them a good wage, but it's all for the win. It doesn't really matter how much it costs to me, because the most important thing is getting the win.
How seriously, not seriously, it's the wrong word, how competitive are you in sparring? Because you don't want to go too mad, take an elbow or a headbutt or anything like that and get injured before the fight. I presume you wear a head guard anyway, but how seriously you take, because also you don't want to be knocking out your sparring partners and then have no one to spar.
Yeah, that is true. It's funny you say that. We do want to practice the things we're going to be doing on the night, whether that's for the Colin fight, you know, high pace, getting the rounds in, or other fights like the Kanzu fight. I only had 1 or 2 spars, and I said to Ben, when the fight got made, like, you don't need to spar a lot for this. I was thinking, this is more a title shot. What do you mean I don't need to spar a lot for this? But it's more about what I was doing in between work and drilling it more as in the sparring, nailing it in the sparring. So they were just like practice, transfer that to sparring, nailed it, don't need to spar again, you've got it. With this fight, you know, it's a bit of both. And yeah, you are right, sometimes it worked and my sparring partner was getting a bit homesick, so you know, it's hard. But you know, I've got a good sparring partner, a little bit heavier, quite strong, so all is going well.
Just try and break down if you can, I'm sure it changes week to week, but at this stage of camp, what's a typical training week look like?
Well, every week from when the fight gets made, it's pretty much 11 sessions a week. Get half a day, Saturday, Sunday off. I haven't been in for 3 weeks. Miss my kids so much. FaceTime, luckily, you know, I get to see him and speak to him. But yeah, that's it. Week in, week out, and continue to work on the game plan. Even in my days off, you know, I'm with Leigh Wiley, who lives with me as well. When I'm close to a fight, going over the game plan, going over other fighters with similar styles, executing that with other fighters, going over it again, recognising it. It gets a bit, you know, day in, day out, it's the same thing, but, you know, like I said before, it's worth it and it pays off.
And do you do your strength and conditioning here, or have you got someone else that you work with?
Yeah, Ben does my strength and conditioning. Over the years, I've seen a lot of people do it from like our house, but I think boxing is the most important part of your training, and sometimes doing your strength and conditioning outside the doors, and especially if there's no communication between the two, it makes things quite tricky. For example, I could be doing strength and conditioning Wednesday night, sparring Thursday morning, they don't know how many rounds. If there's no communication between the two, it makes it hard. If you've got a strength and conditioning coach that's got a lot of knowledge and communication with your trainer, you're probably good to go. But Ben's not knowledgeable enough, and I think as well, unless you've got them years of data with that strength and conditioning coach, starting afresh with someone for a new camp is probably, at this stage of my career, is not the right thing to do. So we keep it in house.
You've been making £126 for a long time now. You're still in great shape, as I said earlier. What's the secret? Give us some kind of nutrition or hydration tips.
There's no secret. There's just one word, and it's discipline. My friends and people in this gym know me. They'll see, like, once a fight gets made, you won't see me eating a chocolate bar, you won't see me eating anything I don't need. I'm very strict. I get my rest, I get my sleep every night, 9 hours. I make the sacrifices, and I know that it's a short period, 10, 12 weeks, or even the next 2-3 years of my career. It's a short sacrifice to pay for the bigger picture.
Food and drink wise, what do you miss the most?
I don't really miss much because I'm so focused, but after a fight it's quite overwhelming. I was talking about this earlier, because all of a sudden you wake up one day and you're like, right, I can do anything I want to do, I can go anywhere I want, I can eat anything I want, and it's quite overwhelming. It's like, well, during camp I crave all these things like school puddings. I love school puddings, like treacle sponge and custard, jam and roly poly, all that kind of thing. And I get there, and then after a fight I'm sat there, I'm like, there's thousands of things I wanted, now I'm allowed it. I don't know what to have, I don't know where to go. It is overwhelming, but I make a list on my phone. What I've started doing a few years ago is I make a list during camp so I don't forget when I get to that point. And I'm looking forward to having that break and seeing my kids, taking them on holiday, and had a bit of good food after the fight.
Is it school puddings? Because that was the last time in your life where you could eat as much sugar as you wanted.
No, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Is it nostalgia? Is it? I don't know. I just love, like, I've always been more chocolate and cake and cookies than sweets. That's just personal preference, isn't it?
Good stuff. I'm not arguing with it, as you can probably tell. After Lara, assuming all goes well, what are your kind of boxes you want to tick before? Because you said you've got 2 or 3 years now of your career. This is the key point where you're making money as well as anything else. What are the fights you want, or what do you want to achieve?
So after the Lara fight, all being well, I'm not taking my eyes off it. I'm not looking past it, but I'm confident in winning. So there's only one more thing for me to do that I wanted to do for the last number of years, and that's be the first person to headline at the City Ground. Whoever that is in the opposite corner, don't make one bit of difference to me. Whether that's Warrington, which I know would be a sellout, got the sporting rivalry between the two cities, the football, and it'd be a great atmosphere. I really do think it would be. Or there's a Conlan rematch. If he can go win a world title, I'd give him the opportunity if he wants it. Or there's Lopez as well, who's got the IBF. If he doesn't get the fight or win that fight, so I don't even know if that fight's been made. I've got a lot of options, but the most important thing for me is where it is, not who it is.
And if there's anyone out there boxing-wise struggling with their form or struggling with their discipline or whatever it might be, and they need a change, because you had some struggles early in your career, you're at the very top now, what's the piece of advice or pieces of advice you'd give them?
You're never done learning in this game. In most fields, if you think you know all there is to know, then you've got a lot to learn. Keep working hard, keep striving to be better, and don't give up. It doesn't matter how many times you get beat or have been beat. If you keep learning from the defeats, you will get there. The only time you don't win is when you quit.
And just one last thing I wanted to ask you, and you can no comment it with no hard feelings, but we saw some rather worrying footage of Kell Brook over the weekend. You grew up in the Ingle gym, as he did. It seems like a time where he might need his friends around him. Are you still kind of in touch? Are you guys still close?
Yeah, sometimes I talk to him. It's hard for fighters that you got all these people that want to be your friend, all these people that want to be around you when you're fighting, when you're winning. And if anything, I feel sorry for him. A lot of people pointing fingers, calling this and that, and in a rush to share what he's done. Like, for me, I didn't even like it, didn't even share it, don't even comment on it, because it's just going to publicise it even more. He's a person that needs help, not to be picked on, to be scrutinised, to be ridiculed. He's a sporting icon. A lot of people looked up to him, and we don't know the facts of the video either. So, but look, Kell Brook's a very nice guy. He's a sound guy. He helped me a lot coming through. And like I said, if anything needs people's help, not hindrance and pulling him down.
Brilliant. Really appreciate it, Lee, and very best of luck in a few weeks.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.